Good Monday morning to everyone. Hope you are doing well. Hope you had a nice weekend. We are back to some Strat-O-Matic 1987 replay. We are now at the, I didn't write it in on the score sheet, but I definitely should have. We are now on to the We are now on to the May 23rd date. First game on May the 23rd. And it's game number 278 in the replay total. It's between the Baltimore Orioles and the Oakland A's. Baltimore comes in 17-24. Oakland has been fading as of late. They're down to 21-19. They are now actually tied with Kansas City for first place in the West. The Royals have caught them. So we'll see what happens here. Baltimore languishing near the bottom of the AL East. But it's on the schedule, so we play it. All right, so in Oakland Coliseum, singles are 1-3 for left and right. Home runs 1-5 left and right. Pretty good matchup. Dave Stewart against Mike Boddicker. Stewart enters the game with a record of 4-3. And Mike Boddicker for the Orioles checks in with a record of 3-4. So just flip the opposite there. Both pitchers are going to have a little control in any type of running game. They're both a +3 quotient when you combine them with their respective catchers. Hello, Bob. Good morning. Good Monday morning to you. Hopefully all is well with you. At least the weather here is nice. Now, tomorrow and Wednesday is supposed to drop into the upper 60s, low 70s with rain. So today is a good day to be outside. I'll be doing that later to go out and do a little yard work. But tomorrow and Wednesday is going to be indoor day, it looks like. At least based on the weather. And yes, I do have the, got to have the tools of the trade. Got to have the coffee there to get that going. Hello, Jeff. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well on this Monday morning. Dave Stewart on the mound for Oakland. In real world, he was 20-13 with a 368 earned run average. I don't know how well these cards show up with the blue background on it, so I'll try to show it up a little closer here. If I can get it to show up on and get this focusing to work right. Don't know if I can or not. It's not really working out too well for me, is it? Try something. Let me look at something else here. See if I can get this to work the way I want it to work. Which way are we going here? There we go. 20 and you can see there 20. If I can hold it steady, 20-13 with a 3.68 ERA. So that finally got it to fit and work out right there. That's his real world win-loss record in ERA. In the replay, he is 4-3, and his ERA is 3.20. 59 innings pitched, 55 hits, 24 walks, and 51 strikeouts. The one thing I did forget to write in was Dave Stewart's wild pitch and balk rating, so I'll do that now. He's an 8 wild pitch and a 0 balk. Boddicker's a 9 wild pitch and a 0 balk. Both catchers have pass ball ratings of 2, and both pitchers' quotients with the catchers are +3. So kind of some symmetry there. Not symmetry in their records or how they're doing in their respective divisions, but it's just the way it is. Going to have the good with the bad. Can't play every, not every game's going to be a top 10 or top 2 team matchup. You're going to have different things going on at different times. So on the card, yeah, it's a little bit of a diamond on the background. That's the way 87 cards were. It's the way they did them back in 87. The basic size, I prefer the charcoal gray like they do now. But this was, I guess, a one-year deal they did in 87 where they have it in a light blue background, and there's a white outline of a diamond. Yes, there absolutely is. But you really have to, it's kind of hard to show up on screen. It's pretty much, almost need to be in person to see these things. Anyway, Lee Lacy will lead off for the Orioles. He's hitting 289 on the replay, 2 homers, 6 driven in. He is in right field for this game. And we're underway, 6-6. Stewart 1 to 13 for a single. That's an 18, so he will line it to Alfredo Griffin at short, and we're underway from Oakland. And that'll bring up Jim Dwyer, the designated hitter. Dwyer is hitting 280, 6 homers and 12 driven in on the replay. 6'9" lefty, and that's a base on balls for Dave Stewart. So 1 out walk. 1 out walk, and that will send up Cal Ripken. Jim Dwyer has no chance to steal. Well, he does have a chance, but it's not a very good one. You have to roll a 5, and even then it's not very good. So, but you know what? With the +3 pitcher-catcher quotient, we're going to go ahead and give it a go. He needs a 5 to get the lead. And he doesn't get the lead, so it's a moot point. His secondary lead's only a 6, so we're definitely not doing anything with that. And here comes Cal Ripken. Ripken hitting 271 on the replay, 7 homers, 24 driven in. It's a 6'11". That's a ground ball first base X. That's Mark McGwire. He is a 3E12. They were not holding the runner on, so he keeps that 3 range fully. 3 and a 14, probably going to end up being some sort of a fielder's choice, I would imagine. Let's take a look here. 3 and a 14 is a G2. Needed a 15 for a G1. That's an 8, and McGwire is an E12. There's a 6, 9, and 15, but no 8. So it's going to be a ground out to McGwire with his only play being at first base. So with the next chance, we'll call it a 3-1 ground out as he flips to Stewart covering. In the meantime, Dwyer will scoot over to second base with 2 outs. So 2 outs and a runner in scoring position for Eddie Murray. Steady Eddie, Hall of Famer, Steady Eddie. And Murray on the replay is hitting 329, 10 homers, 28 driven in. Nothing on the havoc. We get a 5-7. Every roll has been off Stewart's card so far. 5-7. Switch hitter batting left is a ground ball second base X. That is going to be Griffin. He's a 2E29. 2 and a 3. Devil Die shows up again. 2 and a 3, but he's going to get to that because they were not holding the runner on, so the pound sign's irrelevant. It's a G3. That's a 13, and he is an E29. E29, there's an 11, 3, 17, and 18, but no 13. So Alfredo Griffin makes the play, and the inning is over. Or was that second base X? I'm sorry, it should be second base X, not, what am I doing? It should be second base X, not first base. Second base is Phillips of 4. So that's actually going to be a... Hello, Dr. D. I think I screwed that up because the 5-7 was a ground ball second base X. So it should have been, we should have been checking the second baseman, Phillips. He's a 4E21. That 4 and a 3 is going to be a base hit, 2 stars. So actually the run will score. Good thing I have my correction tape here all lined up and ready to go. Didn't want to mess that up here early on a Monday morning. So that's going to be a single. It's 2-star single, so Dwyer will score. Now we'll check for an error. That's a 13, and Phillips is a 21. And there's a 13 there, so it's not only going to be a single, but it's also going to be an error on Phillips. Single plus the E4. So that was a big turn of events right there. Went from an inning-ending ground out to a single plus an error. Score the run and put Murray at second base. Orioles lead at 1-0. Hello, Colin. Good to see you. Dr. D and Jeff, good to see all of you. As well as Bob. All right. So that didn't work out too well for Oakland as Tony Phillips kind of bungled that one. Here's Fred Lynn hitting 218 on the replay, 8 homers, 18 driven in. 1-0 O's here in the top of the first. And again, we're off Stewart's card. 4-4, ground ball, third base X this time. Third baseman is Lansford, 3E8. And they're trying to avoid the double die. And they do. 3 and 18, he'll get to that. Now just a matter of an error. That's an 8. And he is an E8. So an 8 and 8 at third base should be no problem, and it is not. So it's good play for Lansford to end the inning, but the Orioles do get a run. It will be an earned run because the single was a 2-star single, so even without the error, he would have scored. So it is an earned run. but it's a run nonetheless, as they say. Go to the bottom of the first. It is Baltimore 1, and the Oakland A's coming to bat. On the mound for the Orioles will be right-hander Mike Boddicker. He was 10-12 with a 4.18 ERA real world. On the replay, 3-4 with a 5.21 ERA, 66 innings pitched, 76 hits, 19 walks, and 51 strikeouts. And center fielder Luis Polonia will lead off for the Oakland A's. He is hitting .230 on the replay. 1 homer, 3 driven in. He had .287 real world, so he's been off to a sluggish start. 4-10, we're still off to the pitcher's card. Fly ball center field X, that's Fred Lynn. Lynn is a 3-E3. 3 and a 16, he'll get to that. The E3 shouldn't be much of a problem, I wouldn't think. E3 and a 9. The only error center fielders can make with a 3 rating is 16, 3, and 18. So the 9 is just fine. And Freddie Lynn will make the catch. 1 away from Mike Davis. Davis on the replay hitting .317, 9 homers, 23 driven in. It's a .311, finally off the batter card. .311 is a ballpark blast, but we're in Oakland, which is only a 5, and that's a 9. So just a fly ball to right field. At a better ballpark, that would have been a home run. But in Oakland, it's just a fly out to the warning track. 2 down, and here comes Carney Lansford. He's hitting .276, 6 homers, 25 driven in. 4-3, and that's a fly ball left field X. That's Sheets. And Baltimore has a lot of 4s on their defense, so it could be a little troublesome here. Sheets is a 4-E8. 420, though, he'll get to it. He got a break. 420, he will definitely get to that. That's an E12, and he's an E8. And that's a 12. E8 and a 12. There is no 12. So Sheets will make the play. And so 3 flyouts. It sends Oakland packing here in the bottom of the first. We go to the top of the second. Oakland 1, Baltimore 1, Oakland nothing. And Ray Knight will lead off for the Baltimore Orioles, third baseman. Knight on the replay hitting just .215, 4 homers, 13 driven in. He at .256 real world. 4-7, and that's ground ball shortstop X. This time we're going to Alfredo Griffin, 2E29. 2 and a 6, he should get to that. 2 and a 6 is a G2, which is just fine. That is an 11, and he is an E29. So we come over here to E29, and there's the 11 right there, smack dab in the 1 base error section of E29. And 11's right there, so Griffin boots it. The second error on the Oakland A's in 2 innings. E6. 1 base error on Alfredo Griffin. So Ray Knight, the leadoff man, is on. No threat to steal. And here is Terry Kennedy, the catcher. Kennedy hitting .236, 10 homers, 24 driven in. He had .250 real world. 110, and that is a fly ball to center. And that'll be 1 away as Polonia hauls it in. Knight retreats to first with 1 down. Here's Larry Sheets, the left fielder. Sheets hitting .309, 6 homers, 13 driven in. He had .316 real world. That's a 3-8 for Sheets. That's a ground ball second base A. That'll be a 4-6-3 double play. I realize I forgot to roll the Havoc roll, but that's all right. I've already rolled it, so I'm not going to take it back. We'll just play without it for that 1 play. Didn't realize it until after I already had rolled the dice, so we're not going to re-roll it. We're just going to go with it, and that's going to end up ending the inning. Go to the bottom of the second, still 1-0. And for the Oakland A's, Mark McGwire steps to the plate. I'm sorry, Jose Canseco steps to the plate, followed by McGwire. So Canseco on the replay is hitting .295, 10 homers, 27 driven in. He at .257 real world. 5-5, and that's more trouble for the pitcher. 1-3 is a triple, 4-20 is a double, so it's a leadoff double for Jose Canseco, as he leads off the second with a double off of Boddicker. And that'll bring up Mark McGwire. McGuire hitting 244, 8 homers, 18 driven in. He hit 289 real world. That's a 1-6, and that's a straight-out home run. And as Mr. Guterman would say, clean as a baby's ass right there. 1-6, home run. Even do a close-up if I can get it to focus right. We'll do a close-up of that 1-6 result if I can get it to show up correctly. Don't know that I can, but there you go. I'll hold it steady here. 1-6. Come on, show up. There you go. You see 1-5 and 1-6 on the right-hand column. Straight up home runs. No D20 needed. So a 2-run home run off the bat of Mark McGuire gives the A's a 2-1 lead. For McGuire, that is his 9th home run of the season. RBI's 19 and 20. And Oakland leads it 2-1 that quickly. And here comes Hot Dog Jackson, the designated hitter. Jackson on the replay hitting 197, 8 homers and 19 driven in. He at 220 real world. 3-9 for Jackson. He's going to strike out. Out number 1. First strikeout for Boddicker. May have been a season that Reggie probably should have just went ahead and retired and not. Well, that's true. That's true, Kathy. Yeah, that is true. I did not think about that. I'm strictly talking about from a Strat-O-Matic perspective. All right, here's Tony Phillips. He's hitting 241 on the replay. 2 homers, 13 driven in, and he hit 240 real world. 5-6 switch hitter batting left. That's a 1-13 double, and that will be a double for Tony Phillips. 1-out double for Phillips. Brings up the catcher, Mickey Tettleton. He's hitting 231, 6 homers, 13 driven in. He only hit 194 real world. 6-9, switch hitter again, batting left as a pop out to short. And Ripken will take it, 2 down. That'll bring up the number 9 man, Alfredo Griffin. 258 average on the replay. No homers, 8 driven in. He at 263 real world. It is a clutch situation because Phillips is on second base. 311, and that is an anti-clutch hit. Look at that. Alfredo Griffin would have lined to second, but the Omega symbol sitting right there. And that's going to turn to a single, 2 stars, and that will be an RBI single for Alfredo Griffin rather in the clutch. Clutch base hit for Griffin, that 311, and the Omega symbol comes through. RBI single for Alfredo Griffin, and the Oakland A's now lead it 3-1. And now Griffin needs a 2 through 10 to get the lead, and again, Boddicker with a +3 quotient. So that's going to help his cause. 6, he does get the lead. So that's a 15 being held as a 13, but the +3 is a 16. So 1-16, he steals it. And he does. So stolen base for Griffin. We'll get him into scoring position. And that'll bring up Luis Polonia with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Again, clutch situation for Polonia. 3-5, and he's going to draw a base on balls. That'll keep the inning going. First walk issued by Boddicker. He'll turn it over to Mike Davis, right fielder. Hey, Tim. Yeah, I was thinking maybe he should have retired after the 86 season, but I guess he thought he had a little bit left in him, but apparently not. 2-8. That's Mike Davis going to do some damage here on 2-8. 1-17 is a double. That is a 9. It's a double, 2 stars. So Polonia has to stop at third, but scoring from second base is Griffin. And we got an Abraham Lincoln 4-score inning going right now for Oakland. They take a 4-1 lead. Brings up Carney Lansford. All this with 2 outs. Carney Lansford. 3-6 for Lansford. That's a 1-6 home run. That is a 9, so he'll settle with a double. It's a 2-run double. And the Oakland A's are going to bat around. That's 6 runs in the inning. And now Boddicker has reached fatigue. All of a sudden, he was going along so well, and now he has reached fatigue as he's given up that 6th run. They want to get him through the inning if at all possible, but they do bat around, so now I've got to change all these columns by 1 to reflect the bat around. Batting around does not help the score sheet neatness at all. So Jose Canseco, who led off the inning with a double, is back up. Lansford at second. Boddicker is tired, so if we hit the dots, they're going to turn into base hits. 6-8 is a strikeout, so he does get the strikeout of Canseco. Canseco to end the inning. He ends up with 2 strikeouts, but that's going to be it for Boddicker. He's going to go 2 innings and give up 6 runs. Or do they take him out? They may try to go another inning to save their bullpen. I don't know. We'll wait and see. Just because he's tired doesn't mean you have to pull him. He could just pitch with that fatigue going. My general rule of thumb is if we pitch him with fatigue and he hits a dot roll, I call that like exhaustion. So I immediately pull him at that point. But we'll give him a chance to possibly work his way through it. But he's going to carry that fatigue the rest of the way. Here's Rick Burleson. He's hitting 191 on the replay. No homers and a run driven in. He had 208 real world, or 209. Was it 209? He had 209 real world. He's hitting 191 in the replay. 3-4, and that's a pop up to first base. McGuire is there. 1 away. And you're seeing why the Orioles are in last place and Oakland's in first place. There's a reason for that. Your record says you are who your record says you are, basically, as the saying goes. 1-9 for Lacey, and that's a base on balls. Second walk issued by Stewart. And with the 6-run lead, the last thing we'll do is start walking guys. Here's Jim Dwyer. He walked his first time up. 2-6 for Dwyer, and that's a single to center field. And down by 6, the Orioles will run very conservatively on the bases, 1 base at a time. And that'll bring up Cal Ripken. Orioles have the offense to come back. It's just they don't have the the pitching to stay in it. That's the problem. Hello, Bart. Good to see you. And Ripken, 2-3. That's a line out to second base. Snagged by Phillips, 2 down. So it's up to Eddie Murray to get it done. If the Orioles are going to score in this inning and get back in this game, it's going to be up to Eddie Murray. Murray did single his first time up. 5-9, switch hitter batting left. That's a strikeout. So Stewart gets the strikeout. I believe that's his first of the game. Certainly is. Good time for him to get one. Orioles walk away empty-handed. We go to the bottom of the third, still 6-1. That's true, Tim. I didn't realize Dennis Green had passed away. I didn't even think about it. I thought he was still around. I did not know he passed away. But yeah, that was an infamous quote right up there with the playoffs from Jim Mora. Those were one of the two best coaching quotes I've heard in a while. All right. Mark McGuire will step up. He homered his first time up. 5-8, and that's a strikeout for Boddicker. So Boddicker trying to give his team at least some innings. If he can't give them a win, he's going to try to at least give them some innings and save the bullpen. Here's Reggie Jackson. Baltimore did win the previous game, though. It's not like they're totally incompetent. Here's Hot Dog Jackson. 6-6, and that is a 1-4 single, but that's a 9. So Hot Dog didn't get the role he wanted. He lines to second, and Rick Burleson will snag it. 2 down for Tony Phillips. 5-9, switch hitter batting left. That is 5-8 would have been a dot, but 5-9 is a fly to center. Fred Lynn hauls it in, and Boddicker pitches a 1-2-3 inning. So just because he's fatigued doesn't mean I panic and pull him. I mean, you can still pitch him. You just have to be careful, but you can pitch him. I mean, it's not to say he's fatigued is really a misnomer. It's not that he's Boddicker would never be fatigued after pitching 2 innings. Maybe ineffective would be the best way. Maybe he just doesn't have his good stuff. The fatigue is kind of it's different than if he's in the 7th inning and he's thrown 100 pitches or whatever. But in the 2nd inning, you're never going to be tired. It's just you're ineffective. Oh yeah, I thought NFL Films did that, Tim. They had I remember the video where they asked about his team's execution. He said, "I'm in favor for it," or "I'm in favor of it," or something like that. But then one time he said something about they were asking about his offensive line, or he was asking about his team, something or other, and he said, "Well, we didn't block today, but we made up for it by not tackling." So yeah, McKay was definitely a bag full of quips with an inept Buccaneers team that went 0-14. So yeah, he was a riot. All right, here's Freddie Lynn. 5-3. It's a ground ball first base C, and since Tim is here, we're going to play it as a 3-1 ground out. Well, I'd do it if he was here or not, but that's just where I got it from. 3-1 ground out on the ground ball C's and X's. Call it a 3-1 instead of a 3 unassisted, just to be different. Here's Ray Knight. 3-9 for Knight, and that's a 1-18 single, so that will fall in for the base hit for Ray Knight. Terry Kennedy, the catcher. He can't always get close games, unfortunately. Never know how the dice are going to behave. 3-7, and that's a single 1-18 as well. So back-to-back singles, only 1 star, though. So first and second, 1 out for Larry Sheets. Larry Sheets, it's a long ball, and they're right back in this game. And he had 30 home runs. Actually had 31 home runs in the season, so he's definitely capable. 5-9, and that's a strikeout, though. So strikeout number 4 for Stewart. And now it'll be up to Rick Burleson, the lowly Rick Burleson, hitting 189 on the replay. They really didn't have a second baseman all year. They thought Alan Wiggins was the answer, but if he was the answer, they forgot what the question was. 4-6, right-handed, is another strikeout. Strikeout number 5. He actually strikes out the side. Oh, did I give him 4 outs? Hold on. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. What am I doing? Am I giving him like 5 outs or something? What's going on here? I was just rolling along, not even paying attention. Oh, no, I was scoring it in the wrong spot. That's what I was doing. Somehow I started scoring the game down here under Tettleton and Griffin. I don't know what in the world I was thinking there, but let's fix that. These strikeouts belong up here. I don't know what caused me to do that. That was kind of weird. So for Stewart, that is strikeout 2 and strikeout 3. Okay, we'll get it straight. I make an error, but luckily I found out about it and knew what was going on, so I could fix it and be accurate in the long run, which is the ultimate goal, is to be accurate in the long run. Short run, if you make a mistake, you can, as long as you fix it, hey, it's all good to go. All right. And this correction fluid is a godsend, as opposed to trying to use this liquid, which you got to wait to dry. So these things are great. Got them off of Amazon. Got a 6-pack, pretty doggone cheap. It's LZER King. They're wonderful. First time I tried them, I usually get the Bic version, but they had six of these were cheaper than 4 Bics. So I went with this just to try it, and so far it has been really good. It's even got the little cover on. Not that I'm trying to sell this, but just showing you in case you want to try a new product or whatever. It has this plastic cover on it to protect it. So I enjoy it anyway. Helping me out tremendously. All right, here's Mickey Tettleton. Tettleton popped to short his first time up. 1-6, he's going to hit a line drive to second base where Burleson will snag it. 1 away. So since reaching fatigue, Boddicker's retired 5 in a row. So that's why you can't just panic just because somebody reaches ineffectiveness or fatigue or whatever you want to call it. Here's Alfredo Griffin. 6-7, switch hitter batting left. That's another strikeout for Boddicker. Strikeout number 4. And it brings up the top of the order for Luis Pilonia. 6-4. Ballpark single check. It's only a 1-3, so that's a fly to center to end the inning. So Boddicker has retired 7 in a row since reaching that fatigue number. I don't even like to call it fatigue. I'm just going to call it ineffectiveness because, like I said, you're not going to get tired in the second inning. That's just ridiculous. All right, so we go to the top of the fifth. Still a 6-1 ball game. And Lee Lacy, top of the order, due up for the O's. 2-10, and Lee Lacy, 1-11 is a single, and he gets the double die to cooperate. So Lee Lacy is aboard, leadoff single. Again, down 6-1. You're not trying to steal. You need base runners. So getting to second base is not really going to help you. You don't make it all the way home, it doesn't matter. 6-9, and that's going to be a base on balls. Now the first two are on, and for Stewart, that is walk number 3 to go with 3 strikeouts. First and second, nobody out for Cal Ripken. Now the heart of the order is coming up. Ripken, Murray, and Lynn. Ripken, Murray, and Lynn. 3-7, and that's going to be another walk. So Stewart issues his 4th walk. The bases are now loaded. And now the guaranteed, looks like an easy win for Stewart. May not be so easy now. He's going to be struggling a bit. Eddie Murray, if he puts one over the fence, we got a 1-run game all of a sudden. Bases are loaded. Nobody out. Infield back for the double play. 3-11 for Murray. That's a ballpark single check. It's 1-3. That's a 10. So it'll be a line out to second. Everybody holds their position. 1 out for Fred Lynn. Center fielder Fred Lynn has grounded out twice. Infield still at double play depth. 6-3, and that is a ground ball pitcher X. Now the Strat cards do not give his range. I have to go to the computer for that. His error rating is an E6. Computer says his range is a 4. So he's a 4 E6. I don't know why they didn't put the range on there. It didn't make me. They definitely had plenty of room. They could have put it right here, and they just, for whatever reason, chose not to in 1987. I don't know why. But he's a 4 E6. 4 and 8. 4 and an 8. And the pitcher is assumed to be in, even though the team itself was in double play depth. If it's going back to the pitcher, it's considered infield in. So 4 and an 8 is a G3, and that's a 15. And he is an E6. E6, there is no 15, so we come over here to G3 on the chart. G3. I believe bases were loaded, were they not? Yes, they were. Bases loaded. G3 right here. Bases loaded. Infield in is going to get the leader, to get the lead dog. So it's going to be a 1-2 put out. They get Lee Lacy out at the plate on the force play. Lynn reaches on the fielder's choice. Bases are still loaded, but now there are 2 outs. If the Orioles blow this golden opportunity, not sure what to say about it. You get bases loaded, nobody out, and can't score, you're in for a long rest of your day. Here's Ray Knight, though. And Knight in the clutch loses a hit on 2-8. That's his only, and also on 3-5. So we got 2 anti-clutch positions, 2-8 and 3-5. 5-9 is a fly to right, and that's going to end the inning. So the Orioles load the bases, but walk away empty-handed. Talk about a gut punch right there for the Orioles. They thought they had a chance to get back in the game, but Stewart pitched out of it. Go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 6-1. And leading off for the Oakland A's will be Mike Davis. Had a big double in that 6-run second inning. 4-10 against Boddicker is a fly ball center field X. We're looking at Lynn. He's a 3 E3. 3 and 13, he'll get to that. E3 for a center fielder. I think the only errors on Lynn are 3, 18, and 16, and that's an 11. So Lynn will make the catch. And there's one away. And that'll send up Carney Lansford. He doubled his last time up. 5-11. That's a ballpark single check. Again, it's only a 1-3, so he will line it to short. 2 down, and now Boddicker is pitching lights out since he hit that ineffectiveness mark or fatigue mark or whatever you want to call it. Here's Canseco. He's doubled and struck out. 5-11. We're right back to the ballpark single check, and once again, to line out to short. That's going to end the inning. So the inning is over. Boddicker continues pitching well. So he'll go another inning, at least. Go the 6th. Still 6-1. Stewart has a 7 for fatigue, so he's definitely good to go. He'll be facing Terry Kennedy. Kennedy, 2-6, and that's a ground ball to short for Alfredo Griffin, 1 away. And that'll bring up Larry Sheets. 3-6, and Sheets are going to fly to right field. 2 down for Rick Burleson. 4-9, and that's a line out to second base, snagged by Tony Phillips, and it's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Stewart here in the 6th. Go to the bottom of the 6th. It's still 6-1. Favor of the Oakland A's. All 6 runs coming in that second inning. Boddicker now will face McGuire, Jackson, and Phillips. I need to drink another sip of coffee before it starts getting cold. Thankfully, it's still warm. Yes, as Jeff would say, this is good coffee. All right, here's McGuire. 3-7 for McGuire, struck him out. Boddicker has been lights out since that reaching that plateau. He has been lights out. Here's Hot Dog Jackson. He's 0 for 2. 2-6, and he's going to draw a base on balls, will Reggie. He draws the walk. Reggie, of course, is no threat to run. Let's see here. How many walks is that for Boddicker? 1. I think that's just his second walk. Second walk of the game. Here's Tony Phillips. Switch hitter. 2-10, and that is a ground ball, third base B, fielder's choice. So they erase Reggie at the plate. That's going to be a fielder's choice, 5-4. Oops, 5-4. There we go. 2 down. Phillips, decent base stealer, but up 6-1. They're not gonna try any kind of steals. They're just gonna play it straight up. Here's Mickey Tettleton. That's a 2-9 for Tettleton. Struck him out. Strikeout number 6 for Boddicker. So Boddicker may make it all the way to the 7th inning. That's his fatigue rating. So he's got a good chance to pitch that and get there. So he's definitely, if nothing else, Boddicker just ate 4 innings that the bullpen would have normally had to have eaten had he not turned it around. So top of the 7th, and this is the fatigue inning for Stewart. We'll be facing the top of the order, Lacey, Dwyer, and Ripken. Lacey, Dwyer, and Ripken. 3-9, and that's a ground ball to short for Alfredo Griffin, 1 away. Brings up Jim Dwyer. Not the most exciting game this morning, I will grant you that. 4-6. You can't always have exciting games. So 4-6 is a strikeout. And that's going to be strikeout number 4. Strikeout 4 for Mr. Stewart. And that'll bring up Cal. Ripken is 1 for 3. I'm sorry, no, he is 0 for 2. He walked and had a couple of outs. 6-11 is a ground ball first base X. We're looking at McGuire, 3-12 for Mr. McGuire. 3 and a 15, he'll get to that. E12, and that is a 9. E12, and there's a 9 right there. In the middle of 6 and 15, there's a 9 right there. So it will be a boot. One base error on McGuire as he boots it. And for the Oakland A's, if I'm counting that right, that is 3 errors now in Oakland. Had 1 on Phillips, 1 on Griffin, and now 1 on McGuire. Carney Lansford, the only infielder not to make an error. But it hasn't cost them. They still lead at 6-1. So, although it didn't really affect anything. It didn't really help them at all for any of their offensive chances. Here's Eddie Murray for 8. And that's a strikeout for Stewart. Strikeout number 5. He keeps full endurance because that error does not count against him. So he will keep full endurance. And we're going to the 7th inning stretch, but my coffee is still relatively warm, so I don't need to take a coffee warm-up break, and we're going to keep rolling. Boddicker is out. This is his fatigue inning. And the Orioles, look at their bullpen. This is definitely mop-up city. So we are looking at left-hander Jack O'Connor. O'Connor was 1-1 with a 4.30 ERA real world. So he is loosening in the Oriole bullpen. Here's Griffin to start us off. 3-5, and that's a ground ball to Eddie Murray. He'll take it to the bag himself. It was a ground ball B, so that we keep as a 3 unassisted. 1 away for Luis Polonia. 6-7, left-hander. That's another strikeout for Boddicker. Strikeout number 7. Mike Davis, the batter. That's a 1-6 for Davis, and he will draw the base on balls. And for Boddicker, that's his 3rd walk to go with the 7 strikeouts. Takes us to Carney Lansford. Lansford 1 for 3 with a double. Trying to get Boddicker through the inning. 5-7. 5-7 is a ground ball second base X. That's Burleson. He's a 4E18. Those 4 fielders, you know how they are. Especially when the double die comes up like that. 4 and a 6 is going to get through for a base hit. Only 1 star. That's an 11. And he is an E18. There is no 11, but it's a single 1 star. And that will bring up Canseco. Jose Canseco, the batter. .28 for Canseco. Struck him out. 8th strikeout for Boddicker. And they're going to go ahead and cap Boddicker at the 7 innings. So Boddicker will go 7 full. Give up the 6 runs. They were all earned. Walked 3, struck out 8. And has given up 7 hits. So that is the line on Boddicker, and Jack O'Connor will be the pitcher in the bottom of the 8th. So we go to the top of the 8th. Stewart kept full endurance, so he's good to go for another inning. Freddie Lynn, your batter. It's a 6-6 lefty. That's a 1-10 double. That's a 14, so just a fly to right. And Davis handles it 1 away. For Ray Knight. 1-9 for Knight. 1's a home run. Anything else is a double. So Ray Knight will get his 2nd hit of the game. It is a 1-out double for Mr. Knight. For the Orioles, that is hit number 6. And here comes Terry Kennedy. 5-9, and that's a strikeout for Stewart. 6 strikeouts for Mr. Stewart. And Larry Sheets, the batter. That's a 5-9 again. Another strikeout. Strikeout number 7 for Stewart. Stewart going for the complete game. No question about it. No reason to take him out. He's still got endurance. So they're going to leave him in there. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and we get a new pitcher. And we got to bring him in on the computer, and that is Jack O'Connor. O'Connor on the replay is 0-0 with a 4.50 ERA, 6 innings pitched, 3 runs, 10 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. So definitely in mop-up mode. No question about it for O'Connor. And O'Connor will be facing McGuire, Hot Dog Jackson, and Tony Phillips. Right, left, and a switch. So Jack O'Connor. Hello, Mr. Robert. Jack O'Connor coming in to pitch to Mark McGuire. 3-6 for McGuire, and that's a leadoff walk. McGuire not going to go anywhere. Normally, I might pinch hit for Reggie against a lefty, but they're up 6-1, so we're going to let Reggie hit. Lefty on lefty for Reggie, 6-8, and that is a fly ball to left field. Hauled in by Larry Sheets, 1 away. For Mr. Tony Phillips, switch hitting second baseman. That's a 6-12, switch hitter batting right-handed. 6-12 is ground ball pitcher B, so it's going to go as a 1-4 fielder's choice. 2 down for Mickey Tettleton. Switch hitter will turn around, bat right-handed for the first time. 3-6 against the lefty, and he's going to draw a walk. Second walk issued by O'Connor. And that will bring up Alfredo Griffin, another switch hitter. Griffin 1 for 3, a stolen base and a run scored. 2 on, 2 out. 5-3, switch hitter batting right-handed is a ground ball first base C. So again, Murray will field it, flip to O'Connor covering, and that will do it. So O'Connor is going to go 1 inning, give up 2 walks and nothing else. So we go to the top of the 9th. Dave Stewart going for the complete game, leads it 6-1. And the Orioles will have a pinch hitter for Rick Burleson as we get ready to start the top of the 9th. Go to the Orioles bench and see who's going to hit see who's going to hit here. Mike Young. Mike Forever Young will pinch hit. Young on the replay, or in the season, hit .240 with 16 home runs. So he will be given a shot here in the top of the 9th to bat for Burleson. If it somehow miraculously goes to the bottom of the 9th, Rene Gonzalez would play second base. I don't see that happening, but hey, it's dice. Anything can happen. So we go to the computer and bring Mike Young in. We'll get his numbers on the replay. Young is hitting 150. He's really struggling in just 20 at bats. He's hitting 150 with a homer and 2 driven in. It's a 2-6 for Young against Stewart, and that's a split chance. 1-4 is a single. The double dies a 3, so Mike Young gets himself a base hit. Pinch hit single for Mike Young. And now we flip the order over to Lee Lacy. Top of the order we go. It'll be Lacy. 1 chance for a wild pitch on Stewart. His wild pitch rating is an 8. And that is going to be a wild pitch. He will put one past Tettleton to the screen or to the backstop, and it's going to send Young to second base. Takes the double play out of the equation, unless there's a low max of some kind. Stewart now facing Lacy. 4-8, and that's a fly to center. 1 away. action in the Oakland bullpen just in case Stewart should falter. They do have Jay Howell in their bullpen loosening just in case. All right, so Lee Lacy is out of there. Here's Jim Dwyer. So 1-2 for Dwyer. Strikeout plus injury. How do you like that? We're going to add injury to the insult with the strikeout. That is strikeout number 8 for Stewart. We'll check on the injury for Dwyer, but even if he's injured, it may not matter because the game's going to pretty much be over. 1-4, he can stay in the game. And he didn't want to stay in the game anyway. He wanted to leave, so it didn't matter. If, like I said, if it goes to the 9th inning, he is the DH. If it goes to the bottom of the 9th, they'll bring somebody in to play DH. It's no big deal, but I don't think that's going to happen. All right, here is Cal Ripken. Last chance for the Orioles. 4-8 for Stewart. Fly to center, and there's your ball game. Dave Stewart, a complete game victory over the Baltimore Orioles. He is the player of the game without question, as he goes all 9 and improves to 5-3 on the replay. We'll go to the computer to get all the pertinent numbers and do a wrap and then get you set up for the next game tomorrow morning. Once I put everything in this system and let the box score be spit out, here we go. 9 innings pitched, 7 hits, 1 run. It wasn't even now this is wrong here. The computer is wrong. I don't know why the computer did this, but the computer is wrong. It may be the way I entered it in the computer because I had to enter it as a single plus an error. But the single was 2 stars, so the runner on second would have scored anyway. So it's really an earned run. But the Strat computer, and I don't know any other way to I guess I could have done it as an SI2 to score them, and then when Lynn is at bat, did an E4 to move Murray to second and keep Lynn at the plate. I guess there's some kind of way I could have done that, but anyway, it is an earned run. I don't care what the computer says. 7, let's see, and he walked 4, struck out 8. Boddicker takes the loss. He drops to 3-5. His ERA jumps up to 5.45 now. So for the A's, 6 runs, 7 hits, and 3 errors. For the Orioles, 1 run, 7 hits, and no errors. Orioles left 11 on base, including this bases loaded with nobody out. That was a big one. They left 11 runners on base, so that was their bugaboo, leaving those guys on base. Oakland only left on 6. So with the win, Oakland improves to 22-19, and they reclaim first place. They were in a tie with Kansas City coming into this game, as the Royals had caught them. But now they're a half game ahead. They are 22-19. Kansas City is 20-18. Poor Orioles dropped to 17-25. They're back there with Boston and Cleveland in the doldrums of the AL East. So let's look at the schedule for tomorrow and see if I can pick out a good pitching matchup and a good game. Never can tell what's on the schedule. This was game 278. That's now in the books. All right, here are our options for the rest of the August 23rd date. We've got the Chicago White Sox in Boston to take on the Red Sox. That's Floyd Bannister against Al Nipper. That looks like the next game for tomorrow morning. The Sox against the Sox, White Sox against the Red Sox. You also have Cleveland at Milwaukee. Steve Carlton against Mike Birkbeck. You have Detroit at Minnesota. Walt Terrell against Alan Anderson. Kansas City's in Texas. Buddy Black and Charlie Huff. That's a good one to do eventually at some point. The Yankees are in California. Joe Niekro against Willie Frazier. And Toronto's in Seattle. Tom Clancy against Mike Moore. So tomorrow's game will be from Fenway Park. It'll be the Chicago White Sox taking on the Boston Red Sox. Floyd Bannister against Al Nipper. But in this one, the man of the hour is Dave Stewart. And try to get you a little closer look at how they have the infield kind of superimposed on the cards. This, the infield outline. Like I said, I don't know how well it shows up on the video, but there is an outline here. Let me see if I can maybe take off some of these lights. Maybe it's too bright. I don't know if that helps or not. We'll find out. It's kind of a superimposed. I'll take this light off too. Maybe get both these lights off here. That might show up better now without this glare. But there is a soup. Maybe I need the other lights on instead. Okay. We'll try to find some compromise here. Like I said, it's really hard to tell, but there is a superimposed infield on the back of these cards. It's really, really weird for 87. But Dave Stewart is the man. He is the player of the game. Oakland wins it 6-1. I do appreciate you guys, all of you guys and gals, spending part of your Monday morning with me, keeping me company as we venture through this 1987 replay. Game number 278 is in the books. I don't remember what the total was for all the games. It's probably like in the 1100s or something. I did it at one point. I don't remember what it was now, but it's too depressing to put that kind of number out there because it's like it's gonna be like, you know, I'll be on Medicare by the time I finish this. So anyway, that's the way it works sometimes. So tonight, if you're interested or don't mind the modern game, Demolition League resumes tonight. The Cubs will be facing the Twins from Minnesota. And then tomorrow morning we'll be in Boston for the Chicago White Sox against the Boston Red Sox. Floyd Bannister against Al Nipper. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road. Oh, 9 o'clock, Jeffrey, 9 o'clock.